Mostly I put five canvases. I put five. I start the first. Then till this will be dried, I'm going to the second. Then like the third, fourth, fifth. Then when I'm working on the fifth one, the first is already dried. I'm coming back to that, and all the time, all the pictures, all those themes and all the ideas are getting more developed.
I think art is a form of expression for an artist. It is so personal, it's inspiring, thought provoking. It's like a language in itself that can be interpreted in so many different ways and I believe can change lives. I am so in awe of all the artists that I have chatted with in this series, and I have personally learned and gained so much from each conversation. And I hope you do the same. So happy listening. Hi, everyone. Today I am in conversation with an incredible Dubai based artist, originally from Armenia. His name is Jivan Hovana- Ho- Hovhannisyan. Oh my God, I got that right. Thank you so much for joining me today, Jivan.
You're welcome, and thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you very much for this all the meetings, all this. It's very interesting and exciting. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we are here really to talk about you today. And I'd like to know a little bit about you and your background. I understand that you were born and you were brought up in Armenia. So just a little bit about your background would be interesting to start the conversation with.
Okay. I was born in 1968, and I started painting and drawing when I was 2 years old. From there, I started, and all my toys, everything was aside, and I was always having my sketchbook, my pencils, my markers. And from there, I started to grow, and I grew up to seven. When I was seven, I went to. We have a very big art school in our town called Sisian in Armenia. There is a school even now. It's working, and I started to attend to go, and it was very exciting. I remember even how I was very happy when I was going to this school. Thank God we were having very good teachers, and then like this, I started to learn the drawing, painting, and all. In Armenia, it's very interesting when we have a very good nature, scenery. Always they were taking us outside to paint and draw like plein air. And from there, I started to learn. I mean, and the energy is very high, very strong in the
Right.
mountainous areas, you know. So like this, and then after 6 years, I came to Yerevan, which is the capital of Armenia,
Yeah.
and there is a very well-known high college, art high college. Then I started there. 5 years I learned there with already with masters, with well known, with very talented masters, and I had very also private classes along with the college classes like this. Then I started my own from like it was 1980, 88, sorry, 1988. I started my own creations, my own way, and myself. I started to do. Sometimes I was having my private master teacher. Just sometimes I was going to him. We were like friends, you know. From there, I started my, I can say, journey,
Yeah.
art journey, like this. And then some years I served in the army. And at that time there was Soviet Union, if you maybe know.
Yeah.
Soviet Union Army, yeah, Soviet Army. Then it became Russian Army. I was serving there. Then I was some years I was like military officer, but then I stopped that. I came back to my art, and since 1996 till today, I am an artist full time. I'm painting, I'm drawing. Now, like, yeah, 4 years I was in Armenia. Then I went to Russia. I was working again with art things. We were doing interior designing. Then in 2000, I came to UAE, to Dubai. Then since 2000 till today, I'm here. I'm creating, I'm teaching. I have many students. We have a very big art center in Dubai. I'm teaching there art, pencil drawing, oil painting, acrylic, all the mediums. I have so many students. They are coming. I mean, it's very interesting.
So, what you mentioned some of the techniques. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the medium of art that you use, and what is your technique? Do you have like any particular specific technique, or it depends on what you are creating?
Yeah, mostly I'm painting with oil.
Sorry, painting with oil.
Oil,
Okay.
yeah, colors, oil paints. Um, and I started recently. I found more exciting with palette knife. On the stage, I was working with palette knife only. Yeah, so I found palette knife more encouraging, more interesting. You can you can give some more interesting touches, touch ups. Then this is the one. Out of this, I do also acrylic. Acrylic colors. Acrylic colors are more water based. They dry fast. Then they and you can do some more different like texturized, abstract pictures. Like that's why I do acrylic as well. Sometimes artists cannot sit and do one thing only.
Yeah.
Always trying to find out something new,
Yeah.
trying different techniques. So I found out acrylic very interesting for mostly for abstract. But I always keep my horses, my things with oil and palette knife now mostly. Sometimes I do not, just not to forget, I do realistic, very realistic paintings as well. Especially when I'm having commission artworks, in the face, portraits and like figures, like sceneries. I do the realistic. I like to try all those styles, techniques. And then sometimes, like I can say, even every day, I do quick charcoal or pastel drawings, sketches. It's like a breakfast, you have to,
Yeah.
any artist to do,
Yeah.
just like warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a slightly different question. Do you think that art, and you have a lot of students, for example, who are learning art from you, do you think it has a way of, or is a means of transforming lives? Is it something that, can bring about social change, in your opinion?
Actually, art is, I can say, is the best way to communicate with the people. With especially now, I'm traveling. I'm having many exhibitions outside, abroad. Let's say I had in Georgia, I had in Qatar, and it's like art brings everyone to get together. It's very interesting. Like, because when I see someone else's picture, that energy is like calling me.
Mm.
It joining artists, and of course there are many people who is not artists, but they love art. And I have many friends, like I have also from ministers, and they love, and then and art is given, especially artists are always free. Like it gives a freedom to be in touch with people. There is no complex. There is no negativity. We are always like real creative artists are always positive, and there is no complex to be in touch with the people. Always we are having a very good time. Like during the meetings, I mean, it's really it opens. Art is very open. You know, it's more panoramic.
Yeah.
It's yeah, that's the question. It's very interesting. It's clean. It's like a meditation. It's always cleaning. So your mind, your eyes, your
It kind of cleanses you, and what you're saying is that also it, you know, it gives you a certain sense of energy. If you're an artist, you absorb the energy from the other artists, and if you're not an artist, you look at the artwork and it kind of it sort of reflects, and you can stand back and have your own perception of the art that you see, right? So it's I think, yeah.
especially when like for example, many people come and they say that many told me your colors are vibrating so much and it gives more energy. Especially I love orange, red, yellow families, all this, and along with them, suddenly I put cool colors like blue and sometimes even violet, etc. So the combination of all these colors, and people they stand in front of the picture they say if a person is standing in front of your picture more than 5 minutes, it means your picture is working with
Yeah.
the energy of the person, and they enjoy. Many people told me that it's like meditation. They stand and they get energy. They enjoy that colors and that feeling, which is very important, of course.
Yeah. And you as an artist, if you know someone tells you that about a piece of your art, then I'm sure you feel really good as well that you've been able to you know, like create this kind of a visual impact
Yeah.
on someone. So that's interesting. One piece of art that you have created that you would not ever want to part with.
Unfortunately, I every picture, any picture I finish, it becomes like I want to keep, but it's not happening always. It's going. I cannot keep them. I had a running horse, even if it's in my Instagram. I worked on it about 2 years. It's quite big size, and I was keeping always with me, and I was getting myself energy, like it was giving me hope and like more ideas, but then they bought it. I couldn't keep it. It's in Saudi Arabia now. Yeah, so it's not happening to keep a
It's,
picture.
yeah.
Always it's good. But yeah, I would like to have some. I will keep some.
Yeah, because I think, you know, it's your commercial is one and personal collection.
Yeah,
And if you have your own personal collection, then that's quite you know, you get attached to it and it's like your
yeah,
baby because you created it. So yeah,
exactly.
yeah, interesting. So what's next for Jivan? I mean, any interesting projects that you're currently working on that you would like to share with the audience?
Yes. Now, in these days, I'm deciding to go to Armenia again to make many photos myself, not from internet, not from books, etc. Myself to have some different positions of our nature. because I really maybe I missed so much that's why. So I want to create about 10 pictures of very because we are very old nation. We have many churches, we have many old places, very historical.
Yeah.
So I want to really put. I have two big canvases. They are ready about Dubai, and mostly I'm thinking to make it realistically. So, and I have some about 10 canvases ready for abstract with acrylic with different textures. I'm cooking.
You're cooking in
I,
your head,
my
yeah.
mind.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, about 10 pictures of horses again. As my friends and even my wife is saying, it's enough. It is, of course, I'm living with them, you know, my ideas. So because I'm from one side, from like myself, I'm thinking to do. Then the other side, by end of this year, I'm already registered in Madrid. I have a solo exhibition. Yeah, either in December or beginning of next year, like in January maybe or February.
That's amazing. Yeah, yeah.
So if you want, I can even send you when I know the date. I can send you exact time and date. So in case you want to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I do go to Barcelona very often because I also have a home there. So if I'm there around the same time as your exhibition, Madrid is just a train ride away. So I would absolutely love to. And I've been talking to a number of Spanish artists as well in this particular series, and I think about three or four. And they've also been sharing, some of the different and very interesting art and their journey and their story. And so it's nice to hear, every artist has their own perspective, and you have your own style, you have your own ideas, you have your own concepts, you have your own uh, process, and so it's been really, really interesting. So before we sign off, is there anything that you'd like to share and mention and talk about?
Yeah. So these are my plannings. I'm not. It's not like I'm sitting and planning. It's coming all here. So then I'm thinking, okay, this one, this, myself, all. I'm keeping it. Thank God I have a good memory. So whenever the energy is coming and cooking, coming higher, you have to start immediately. Otherwise, it might go.
Yeah.
So this is the artist's procedure. I mean, maybe even when you meet some other artists, they will say the same. Because when the idea is coming, it pushing, pressurizing, then you have to start to take it out
To
all
expel it.
the
Yeah.
camp
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and
Very
to
good.
share, yeah, to share your energy to the people.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jivan. I really enjoyed talking to you. And what's behind you, the background, looks very interesting. If you can just describe what it is to the people who won't see this interview, but they'll be listening to the podcast.
Yeah. Actually, this picture. After a week, it will go travel to Singapore. This will be in Singapore.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it like a
These are
landscape?
horses.
Oh, they're
It's
horses. Yeah,
that's
I thought they were horses, but I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Another one is, let me show you a bit more. Actually, before I show, I have some pictures like this. As I told I'm trying different abstract things with acrylic, of course, and with mostly metallic colors, different textures. So, and someone from Singapore, she saw that, and but she didn't buy that, but she wanted something different, two horses like. Then I made myself the sketches and I sent to her, and she liked. And now it's done already, almost done.
I can see the colors.
I can show you. Let me just show you.
Yeah, for those who'll be watching the interview, they'll get an idea. Now I get to see two horses. There is like a
more
background.
Yeah, like there is another one that I can see from up. I don't know if it's showing properly.
Yeah, I can see the two horses, and it's like it almost seems, yeah, you can put the computer back now, or phone, whatever you're talking to me on, and I can see that there is a landscape. There is that a moon or
The moon, exactly.
yeah, it's the moon, and it's like so it's there are different colors. There's green, there's the reflection of the sky, and yeah, it's very interesting. Thank you so much, Jivan. I'm sure the person in Singapore who's getting it from you will absolutely, have it as a place of a pride in their home, and yes, I really appreciate this conversation. Thank you very, very much. And I hope the next time I'm in Dubai, I'll definitely stop by to say hello to you.
Thank you.
For more weekly conversations, do listen to Melting Pot on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Follow us on YouTube and on Instagram at Podcast Melting Pot. So until the next episode, this is Payal signing off.